I'm sure you guys are really familiar with all the news you hear about Japan, about the earthquake. Well, let me tell you, it was pretty scary. At the time, I was working and I had a customer. I was serving him, and all of a sudden, it just, out of nowhere, it just starts shaking like really, really, really hard. And we were all freaking out, and we keep telling each other to get out the building, just get out the building. But I have a guest, and then I told him, please, sir, leave the building, leave the building. And he didn't leave. And I can't just leave him in there all by himself. So I asked him to leave, and he didn't, so I stay in there with him. And I really thought that that was gonna be the end of my life. And I prayed at the moment and be like, oh Lord, please don't let this be the ending. Please don't let this be the ending. I was pretty scared. Okay, and then I went on break, and all of a sudden there's another big shake coming, and I was like, oh my god, I seriously was going to cry that day, but I hold it in so well, if I say so myself, because I'm such a crybaby. And my boss told me to leave the building, so we all did. And then I kind of stood there until the shaking was gone. But it was really scary. I don't think I'll ever going to forget that. And I was feeling really dizzy from all the shake, and I literally just threw up like all my lunch that I'm sorry, it's nasty, but it's human nature. But my boss wouldn't let me go home. You know, we have families that we need to worry about because we don't live on base, we live off base. See, I couldn't get to call my mom at all because the service was so busy that nobody could reach nobody. So that was what the day was like when the earthquake happened. And that night, my friend asked me to do makeup for her because she's been asking me for 2 weeks, I guess. Oh, I'm sorry, because she have a little party that day, that night. So I did makeup for her, which was okay. It was fine. But I've noticed that there was no train that was moving going back to my house, and I kind of start to freak out because train is the only option that I have, because I don't have a car here. Because living in Japan, you don't really need a car. You can go anywhere with a train. So I didn't buy a car. So I was like, oh my god, how am I gonna go home? And then my friend offered me to give me a ride home, which was sweet of her. Thanks. But ever since that, all the transportation has stopped. And then finally I went to go talk to my manager over the phone and saying that I can't go back to work because the train's not moving. And he told me that I can take that day off, but that I must come to work the next day. And then I freaked out and I cried because I don't know what to do. But I have a friend who lives in the same town as me, and she also works in the same place as I do. So she and I were trying to figure out how we can go there without taking a train. We were thinking about walking for 4 hours or riding a bicycle. But I don't have a bicycle either, so I was like, I don't have that. And then I asked her that if she and I can take a cab to go there, but the traffic was terrible. It's terrible. And so if I would catch a taxi, it'll be like over $100. It'll be really expensive. So we didn't take a cab, and we finally found a bus that we can take to go to our jobs. So that's what we did. And then, even though my boss said I don't need to come in that day, I still did because I had to use my leave for the absence that I can't go to work. It's not like I made the train stop, right? But I still had to use my leave. And then I was not happy about that because I wanted to go on vacation and use that leave for vacation, not for staying in the house because I can't go to work. So I went. It took us 2 hours on the bus to get there. And then we start working. And so we didn't have any place to stay, and we didn't have a lot of money to go stay in a hotel because who knows when the train will be back. And we couldn't afford to stay in a hotel forever, so we asked our sweet friend if we can stay at her house, and she said, yes, thank you. And so we stay at her house. And that's how I was doing this past 5 days. I was in her house going to my job. And I finally came home today after 5 days, see my mom, my dog, and my birdie. I missed him so much. And this time it took me about 3 hours to get home, but I was happy. And when it was on January, I took leave off for about 5 days because I was planning to rest for a while because I haven't been resting. I've been working. So, but the good thing about that is I took the leave on the right timing. So that means I have 5 days, well now 4 days, but to stay at my house and be with my family. But I might have to go back to her house when I have to go back to working because there is no train still that's moving. So I probably would go back to her house. I feel really bad that she have to watch over 2 girls. But, you know, we're old enough to take care of ourselves. We bring our own lunch and dinner so that we don't need to be eating all her food. But I do take shower in her house. But I really feel really bad that I do that because, you know, it's not cheap for paying the rent and stuff. So, do us a favor and please pray for Japan because Japan needs a miracle right now and this country needs to be healed. And if we all pray together, God can hear us. So, and He can show us miracles. So please do pray for Japan. I'm sorry I have no makeup once again. But, oh well, it is what it is. Thank you for writing all the sweet message on Facebook. That makes me feel so much better because I was feeling so stressed over the whole thing because I'm scared, I'm terrified. This situation is really, really tough. All the people in Japan are suffering. We're suffering from the radiation leak, and we get earthquakes every day ever since the 11th. So it's like there's never a time for us to rest. And then I couldn't get to go home and stuff, so I was feeling really, really stressed. But I'm just keep on praying to God that, you know, He'll fix this problem. And, you know, one thing that I'm really scared is that maybe this is the beginning of 2012. If you don't know what that is, then I don't want to scare you, so you don't need to know. But if you do know what I'm talking about, maybe this is the beginning. But that's really up to God. But you shouldn't feel frightened because whenever that happens, God will come before that for you. So He will take care of you. So don't lose faith. Oh yeah, don't lose faith. I be praying for this country and for our safety. And I guess that's it. Yeah. Bye.